In this tutorial, you're going to learn how to create a GitHub Pages website. By the end of the video, you will have your own domain and a public place to post your work similar to this one, jamesnasium.github.io. Of course, the first part of this address will be your own name. To get some sample content for your site, you'll take some text from a Wikipedia article and place it into a simple HTML page, like so. To follow along, you'll need an account on GitHub as well as GitHub Desktop, which is a standalone application for both Mac or Windows. You'll also need a code editor that you're familiar with. I'll be using Visual Studio Code. GitHub Pages is a free service that allows you to host and publish a website. As a part of the larger GitHub ecosystem, it allows you to take advantage of version control and collaboration features. If you want to learn more about what version control is and why you should use it, be sure to check out our free course, Introduction to Git and GitHub. Step 1 is to create a new repository. Commonly referred to as a repo, this is simply a folder where the source files for your project are stored. What's special about a GitHub repo is there's all sorts of magic happening behind the scenes to help you keep track of your work. You'll get a chance to see this in action shortly. But first, go to github.com and log in. Next, type the following in the address bar, github.com/new. This brings you to the Create a New Repository page. Now type in your own username in the repository name field. In my case, it's jamesnasium. Now type .github.io. This tells GitHub that you want to create a GitHub Pages site. Again, it's super important that the first part of this address matches your username exactly, or else the whole thing won't work. Apart from that, leave everything else as is. Now click Create Repository, and you'll get a page just like this. Look for the button that says Set Up in Desktop and click it. You'll be prompted to open up the GitHub Desktop client, assuming you have it installed. The app will launch, and now there's the Clone a Repository window that you have to deal with. This window is basically asking you where on your computer you want to store your files. Currently, this doesn't exist, so you'll need to create it. In the section called Local Path, click the Choose button. On a Mac, an obvious place to put this is the Documents folder. An easy way to find this is by clicking Documents here in the sidebar and then click Open. On Windows, it's a similar process. Once you've done that, click the Clone button, and now your repo is set up to publish. Notice in the top left that the current repository is listed as jamesnasium.github.io. And if you hover over that for just a moment, you'll even see the path of the folder appear. Cool. This now means that any files you put into that folder will be detected and eventually be uploaded to GitHub Pages. But first, you need to make that file. You can directly open your code editor of choice by clicking this button here. I'm using Visual Studio Code, but any text editor or IDE will work. If you don't see one listed, there's a way to add it by clicking Preferences and following the directions. The next step is to create a new file and choose File, Save, and call this index.html. Now, it's very important that you're saving this into the folder you created earlier. GitHub Desktop and my text editor are smart enough to know where this is, but you should double check for yourself. Now type out the following bare-bones HTML tags. Feel free to pause the video if you need to. Next, go to wikipedia.org and search for the term shoe bill. Once here, copy these 3 paragraphs, and then go back to your code editor and paste them between the body tags, then choose Save. Back in GitHub Desktop, you'll see it recognized that the HTML page was added, and you can even see the content in this section here. Before you publish this, it's best practice to add a note describing the work you just did. Technically, this is called a commit message. Type something like created index.html page and added content. Now press Commit to Master, and then Publish Branch, which will push your page to the GitHub Pages repo. That's it. Within a few minutes, you should see your changes live in your browser. In my case, that's at jamesnasium.github.io. Meanwhile, imagine that you want to update the style of this page, which, let's admit it, needs some help. Let's first wrap these 3 paragraphs in p tags, which will give it some needed structure. Next, let's add a little bit of style to the paragraphs with CSS. You'll need to type the following head and style tags first. Again, feel free to pause the video as you do this. And then add the CSS for their paragraph between the styles like so. If you save the file and preview it, you'll see these improvements. But of course, these changes are just local. You now need to push these changes up to your GitHub Pages site. So it's back to GitHub Desktop you go. Again, you can see that the changes have been detected. Do you remember what to do? That's right. Add a commit message here, such as added paragraphs and styles, and then click Commit to Master and then Push Origin. Your changes will be pushed, and shortly you will see the updates. Again, you'll need to be a little patient. These changes won't be instant on your GitHub Pages site. That's it. I hope this helped, and if you like this video, be sure to check out our other Take 5 videos, as well as the entire course catalog at Gymnasium.